Allison, and I'm in my adventure van here called Wonderland. So we are Allison and Wonderland, and I just thought I would do a little ditty about driving anxiety and how to reduce your driving anxiety. Now, I will tell you, I have had driving anxiety for most of my life, and I'm 38 years old now, and I haven't owned a car pretty much all of my life until last year. I got my first vehicle, and I certainly had a lot of anxiety when I first started driving it. I know how to drive. I have a driver's license. I learned how to drive when I was, 16 years old or whatever. But I've always had a little bit of anxiety about driving ever since I was a teenager. My hands and my arms would tense up and they would be sore after I drove, so that's one reason I didn't like driving. I didn't want to have to park. I wanted to take the bus and just have someone else drive me, and I would just feel like in a panic a little bit sometimes out on the road with certain situations and being in traffic. And still now I like to drive. One thing that you can do is drive when there is less traffic. So if I go on a trip, I'll probably drive like late at night or early in the morning. So adjusting when you drive based on how much traffic there's going to be could be one way to reduce your driving anxiety. I think I also had driving anxiety because I'm a very small, petite lady. I'm 4 feet 10 inches tall, and I just felt like cars were too big for my body. If they made cars for 12-year-old size bodies, I would feel right at home. But they don't. The cars just feel so giant, and I feel like I misjudge the spatial relations all the time. Everybody says, oh, you have to get to know your vehicle. And it's like, well, these things are giant machines, and I'm tiny lady inside. And so I just had a lot of anxiety about parking and things like that. So one thing that I do to reduce that is get to know like where I'm going and where the parking is, where I can park, where I don't have to parallel park between two other cars. Look at it on Google Maps, see if there's like a nice parking lot somewhere around, or if I'm going on a trip, making sure I know where there are parking lots that I could possibly park at, or parks that I could park at to hang out, or even places I could go overnight. So that reduces my anxiety to know where I'm going ahead of time. Some things that I also found reduce my anxiety is to hold the steering wheel lower than up here. I don't know why, just having my arms down here reduces my tension in my hands and my arms. I don't know if this is a thing out there, but some people have told me that they also get tension in their arms when driving. Using gloves when it's cold is good. But holding it down here, and also I found just playing peaceful music. I think the first long trip that I went on, I made a little video about when I went to Duval, and I just played nice music. It was an hour drive. It's not that long if you're an experienced driver, but an hour was kind of freaking me out. Like, I'm going to get in my car alone in traffic for a whole hour going to a place that I'd never driven to before. So I had some anxiety about that. But I just played nice, peaceful music. Like, I kind of like new age stuff or meditative stuff, not anything that's going to put you to sleep, but just something that's going to just be really relaxing. So playing peaceful music also helps reduce the anxiety. And I think just driving when there's no rush hour traffic as much as you can. Like, I have variable hours with my new job as a nanny. I no longer have to live in a van, which is the original reason I purchased a van. Because I thought, well, I can't afford rent in Seattle as a preschool teacher, so I'm going to have to live in a vehicle someday because retirement savings is more important to me than rent, and I can't afford both. So that's why I got a van in the first place, but now I don't have to live in a van. But my schedule as a nanny is, the family I work for, the schedule is variable. It's not the same time every weekday, so sometimes I'll come home and it'll be like earlier in the afternoon, and sometimes it'll be later, and the later is like rush hour. It sometimes takes me a long time to get home, but if I just wait like an hour or so and just hang out in my van. Like, there's way less traffic and it's way less anxiety making when I don't have to stop and go at a stoplight for like a giant line on the streets of Seattle. So sort of adjusting your own schedule besides adjusting when you drive, that's kind of the same thing, but it sounds like a pain in the bum, but it's not. It actually, like, it feels a lot nicer to me to drive when there is less traffic and no rush hour traffic. So driving when it's not rush hour, thinking about that, super helpful for trips, for driving, for any time. If you can either go earlier or later, so peaceful. The road is so peaceful. I just came home in the afternoon and it's so peaceful. There's no rush hour, and I was just like, I just go right through the road and up to the stop sign, and usually there's a gigantic line and it's stop and go, and you don't know, there's a 5-way stop on my way home, and it's like you don't know whose turn, who's going. If you go, somebody else might go and almost crash into you. That's happened before. Anxiety making. Just go when there's no traffic. So nice. So I hope that helps. I don't know if those things help. Drive when there's no rush hour traffic, play peaceful music, hold the steering wheel lower down, and adjust your schedule, adjust when you might drive. And hope that helps some of you adventurers out there, and I'll see you in Wonderland. Hello everyone, Allison here, and this is my van called Wonderland. If you're a millennial and beyond looking to become a roam owner, maybe retire early and see the wonderlands of the wild, then this is the place for you. Remember to like, subscribe, and save this video to all of your van life and roam life playlists. For more information in less time, adjust your playback settings to watch these videos on 1.5 speed. If you'd like to follow my adventure, or you need a consultant to help you get from a house that doesn't move into a home that does, then visit my website at www.AlisonWonderland.info. See you in Wonderland!